Hey y'all, we're back with another episode of Small Talk. You already know, two queens, two perspectives, one topic. But tonight we have an additional queen with us. Her name is Brittany, so you already know she brings the vibes because Brittany's bring the vibes.
Absolutely.
Private Asia girl. But we're gonna allow her an opportunity to introduce herself, and then we're just gonna jump right into it.
Okay. Hey, you guys. I just want to thank y'all for inviting me to be on the podcast. Love the vibes on here all the time. But my name is Brittany, and I'm the founder of a group called the Millennial Moms Digest, which is a home and a safe place that promotes and creates healthy environments to have mental health conversations concerning like pre-pregnancy, during pregnancy, and even after. So yeah, that's what I do.
Ooh, that's awesome. That's awesome. I think it was Black Maternal Week, if I'm not mistaken, right? So this kind of aligns perfectly because, to be honest, a lot of people are the amount of awareness that's not brought to Black maternal pregnancy journeys, all that, even after birth, postpartum, is super high and absolutely ridiculous. So shout out to you for even having something that provides a safe space to have these conversations. I absolutely love that. I think it's dope.
No, thank you for sure. And also, I feel like this is also a place that is like a house and a home to have similar safe conversations. So, in that same right, thank you, ladies, for what you guys are contributing as well.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Stop. Cut it out. So, we are going to kick it off with something that we do all the time on Small Talk, and that is our this or that. So, we're going to keep it light. Keep it light. You just get one. Okay. So, you have to pick. Would you rather be loved and never love, or love and never be loved?
Whichever the option where I don't love. So I'll be loved and then I don't show love. Was that an option?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So you would be loved. So you'll be loved and never loved.
Yes.
Okay. Ooh.
Why?
Huh?
I said why?
I don't know. I feel like it would be easier on me. Maybe not for the other person because they would be showing me all this love and I wouldn't be all that affectionate. And honestly, that's a little bit how I am anyway. So I'm like, I may be in homeostasis if I do that. Sounds safe. Sounds like what I know. So yeah, that would probably be easier because I just feel like if I kept on showing love and then I didn't get any at that point, I'm gonna start becoming resentful. So yeah, maybe it'll leave me a little bit violent. Nobody wants that. So let me just receive all the love.
Yeah, that's dope. I agree. I'd have to be loved because for me to love somebody, rejection is real, right?
Yeah.
And when women receive rejection, it hits a little different. Like you don't never got to worry about me ever again doing whatever it is
for real.
So if I'm showing love towards you and it's not being reciprocated, I'm out.
Yeah, definitely. You will never hear from me again.
Yeah.
Like if I get the slightest inclination that the energy is not reciprocated, it's like actually like I say, I will cease to exist to you.
Right. I agree. I was gonna say the same thing as y'all. I immediately thought of like Brittany when you were saying like when it's not reciprocated, right? And like how that makes you feel. I was like, yeah, because for me, it would definitely be Diary of a Mad Black Woman Part 2. Because
no, seriously.
I'm not about to do all this stuff for you and knowing that you don't love me back.
No, it just won't do. It just won't do.
Yep.
It just won't do.
That's a fact. All right, that was easy enough. I think you know what it is. We're women, and so like we're already like these emotional loving creatures. I love that Brit was like, huh, I already
I'm
give
like,
you,
no.
mm,
If I
you
got a
know?
chance to
Too
receive
easy.
love,
Too
yeah.
easy.
Yeah, yeah. It's owed to me. It's owed to me. So
Mm-hmm.
I that was easy. That was easy for us. Um, I'm gonna just jump right into it, and this is kind of a
Okay.
this or that question, but it's also our first question that we have for you.
Okay.
Um, and it goes like this: would you rather have a broke man with time or a
I can
rich
already
man
let you know, rich
that's
man or
busy?
whatever comes with it.
What?
Yep, very rich and very busy. I can already. Would you rather have it broke? Absolutely not. Because you being broke and having all that time would do nothing but piss me off.
Fair. That's
Yeah.
For
fair.
real.
And I
I
can
agree with you.
get to wherever that busy man is. It's all right.
That's but so do you stand by, you know how people say like money doesn't buy happiness, or like you'll be left alone literally to spend however much money you want, but he won't be there for you. Are you okay with that?
Yeah. I'll be all right. I'll be all right for the time. I'll be all right long enough for long enough. And I just really say that based off of like just being grown, being 31 and having experienced a broke person, there was nothing like fun or desirable or cute or in love or nothing about that when we was just sitting up in a house together, just broke. Like I'm upset, you're upset, we can't do anything. Like
Hmm.
just you know what I'm saying? And so at
Yeah.
least if we're being like very transactional about it, at least the guy with money, whenever I do leave, I'll probably have some goodies to take with me, bags, memories, trips, all that other great stuff.
Hmm.
But then like it say for instance, like if he is gone all the time, if he does, and I also think like money brings opportunity. So no, it doesn't buy happiness, but it
Hmm.
really will afford the things that will pretty much make you happy, and not even being super extraneous, like basic things like heat, water, food,
Right.
food, like those
Hmm.
things tend to make me pretty happy in the average person. So I feel like money buys opportunity. So for example, with the broke guy, it's like you have all this time, but you obviously don't know what to do with it to create opportunities for
Hmm.
yourself to get yourself out of this state. Because being broke is like more than to me just like not having any money. It's almost like a state of being, like we all been down
Hmm.
Hmm.
bad. I just got paid. You get about 10 business days, I'm be down bad. But like, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
there's gonna be a difference
Right.
in mindset. And so I feel like at least with the guy with money, there's always a possibility there because the money can afford you opportunities, i.e., if he travels a lot, I can hop on a plane, I can hop on a this, hop on a that. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And make certain things work. Whereas I mean, the way these bills are so big, I can't do it. It's no judgment because we all been
Mhm.
broke.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I can't do the build a man up fund 2024. I just won't be
No,
able to
we will
submit
not.
to the
We will
won't be
I
not.
able to
hear
submit to the calling.
you. What about you, Asia?
You know, it's so funny. At first, I was like, how broke is broke, right? Like, is he broke or is he like broke broke? You know what I'm saying? Like, is it like just waiting on the next paycheck broke, or is it like he has no prospects, like he's literally out of a job?
Like in debt, living with his
You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
mom,
because
like, just
for me,
lots
I'm
of
like, I
things.
need a little more context because I also feel like being an entrepreneur and broke is very different than like because I feel like at some point it's like you expect that there's gonna be time, right? That there's like, okay,
Yeah.
you're gonna be broke.
Yeah.
But knowing that the payoff is gonna be a lot bigger, right?
Yeah.
So you might just be in between. You know what I mean? But Brittany, you had a great point. I just because how are you broke with time? Like that, I guess that's the
That's
part
the thing
because
that's pissing
it's
me
one of
off,
those
like
like,
the
so
broke
you're
and the
not doing
time.
anything. You're not
It's
trying.
like,
You're not.
wow.
I
Mm.
don't. Yeah, it's because it's given not just broke but lazy. Because why
So,
are you
but
Ugh.
not
wait,
doing something?
wait. But so what if he isn't lazy, right? Like he has time. So when you're the breadwinner in the home, you come home, whatever, and he has like dinner cooked, or he's he's doing at home dates. So like he's prepping a little movie night. He had a
Yeah.
dollar or two to go to Dollar Tree, whatever, sprinkle some fake rose petals on the ground to set the tone.
For how long? How long are the home dates, Brittany? How long are we gonna do the home date?
Okay, that's fair. No, that's fair. Time is
No,
definitely
and
a factor.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I just feel like, especially just because with stuff like that, we all know how men can get. So like you can't go let it get too long because they'll get comfortable. And now we're only
Mhm.
doing at home dates. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Mhm.
But I definitely feel like I definitely agree with you said, Asia. There's a lot of deviation there when it comes to like broke, because like you said, entrepreneur broke is different than just like a perpetual state of brokenness or whatever.
Right.
And I
Yeah.
could definitely understand someone that's like building a business up. What I can't really understand with the entrepreneur thing is at this large age, like if you're broke, because it's like, I'm just going to use rapping as an example. Shout out to all the people with rap dreams.
Oh.
I'm not here to listen, do you and put out the mixtapes. But what I'm saying is at this large age, it's hard, you know, when you're saying that you're broke and like you don't have a job and you don't have a source of income because you're
Right.
waiting on this rap career to take off.
Right. I agree.
You know, like that's something I
I,
can't really get with.
Mhm.
mhm.
However, like say if that man was working and actively like seeing growth in it, that too. Cause like, I mean, you're not gonna just keep performing at the
Yeah.
local clubs at home until you're 41, 42, you know?
Yeah, no.
So I think
That's
that like,
odd. That's odd behavior.
yeah,
Mhm.
it's weird.
It's
It's
just, yeah,
strange.
it just is. And I'm gonna say this too, and this might be, I don't know, but Britt, you said something when you said he might have had a dollar or two and got those fake rose petals. Leave them at the dollar store. Leave them at the dollar store because now I'm mad.
Yeah.
Like you were doing so, and I'm only saying that because like, and some people be like, oh, but it's the thought.
Mhm.
No, because in my mind, the thought is you made dinner. Now, in my mind, I forgot you were broke. I forgot for a second that you were broke because you got the groceries, you made this nice meal, it's tasting delicious, and now you got these raggedy behind dollar store fake roses throwing it off. Now I'm
Mhm.
reminded that you're broke.
That we're very
Um,
in a bad position.
yeah, like, and I'm gonna say something else. Also, Britt, you didn't want to say, I'll say it. The rapper thing, I just feel like at our grown age, it's a hobby. Like it's okay to say that it's a hobby.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean,
and I'll just leave it there. I think it's a hobby.
if and then it's like, man, anybody can make it at any age. Who am I to say? All it takes is one song. It takes the right share. All the cute little social media things about making dreams come true. But at this large, and you know what? I guess it depends. Like a single man, I can understand, but if you are a man with like a family and kids, you may just want to settle down. You know,
Yeah.
you may want to settle down. That may not
Mhm.
be the route that is for you. And the same thing with like sports, you may want to deviate, maybe go into coaching or, you know, something like
Right.
that. But maybe playing is not for you.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. I'm with y'all on that. I'm in between, right? Because I my love language is quality time.
Mm,
So for me, like that's huge. But the brokenness brings on a type of depression that is unheard of. Like you legit can't do anything and it sucks. It just puts you in this funk. So I can understand being rich, but like you're gone all the time. So I'm gonna say I'm gonna throw some factors in there. If we have children, right? Like you got to be rich enough for me to get a maid or a not a maid, a nanny to help out with
Hmm.
these children because if I'm still quote unquote stay at home mom, like being a mother is mentally draining already in itself. And then you're not around to kind of help me fulfill these duties. You're just throwing money at me. Like I'm not really spending the money how I want to anyway, because I have other responsibilities in the household. So if we don't have children, oh yeah, I'm in these streets. Like I'm buying whatever I'm doing, taking care of me. I'll make sure everything's good when you get home. But when you have kids, it's kind of like they're a job. They are a job in themselves. So that's when it's kind of like, okay, I'm picking and choosing. But I'm with y'all with the richness and because again, money brings on. I didn't realize how much money. It shouldn't be a huge factor, but when you're in a relationship, like I'm in a full blown marriage, we money, we got to talk about that every day because expenses
Yeah.
come out every single day. You know, when
Yeah.
we hit a low, you can tell the other partner is kind of frustrated or whatever, and it's like, what's going on? How can I help? So it's good to
Mm-hmm.
have that support system, but I can't imagine being with somebody broke 24/7, coming home and it's like, cute, you made spaghetti. Who gonna turn these lights on? Like, what?
Exactly. That's what I was like. He was like, he cook, he clean. I'm like, I don't know. He needs to make money because we
Money.
could buy a cook. We could hire some cleaners if you had money. But
Mm-hmm.
like
We can order
me coming to
takeout.
a spick and span house that I'm probably gonna get evicted out of because we can't afford the rent ain't gonna do nothing but piss me slam off. Like, just come with money.
Mm-hmm. That's a fact. Okay.
I I agree. All right, y'all ready for the next one?
Yep.
Yeah.
So, if a guy has been with men before, do you think that he should tell you?
I saw a video about this on TikTok and it was a guy that not identifies, I can think of the word, identifies as bisexual, and he had stitched this girl's video that was saying like basically she doesn't want to be with the guy that's been with other guys, and he stitched it and he was saying that like basically that's a super homophobic thing. And I just think that's such a weird thing to say because it's like, well, no. But no,
Mm-hmm.
I
Right.
definitely, that's just not my vibe. I don't, yeah, I don't, it's just not my vibe. And it's not even that like a homophobic thing. We love the gays, love you guys. But no, I feel like for one, that would be for me, I don't even trust people like that anyway. So you already, when you're with
Mhm.
the guy, you already have to worry about girls. So it's like I have to worry about everybody, girls, guys. You know, we may end up, I don't know, cross paths at some point. You know, and previously didn't know. Then there's the obvious with STDs, STIs that are increased
Mm-hmm.
risk. I'm not a
Mhm.
super big fan of HIV/AIDS, so you know, like and so for that main reason, though, I feel like it should be disclosed just so people can govern themselves as far as their body, how they
Mm-hmm.
want
Yeah.
to, because we're all grown. So if you meet somebody on the first date and you want to sleep with them, cool. But I do think that, like, for that reason, because things like that do happen, just the same
Mhm.
way if someone is like transgender or anything, if anything deviates from what looks outwardly assumable, you just need to let folks know.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I agree. I feel like yes, you should let someone know, just like you would want to be afforded the opportunity to make a decision of who you want to be with. You should allow me that same, you know, opportunity to do that, because just like you said, Brittany, like some people are down for it. Some people are okay
Yeah,
with, oh, you're bisexual. That doesn't phase me. That doesn't bother me. But if I'm the type of person that's not down with that, and you didn't tell me, you didn't give me that opportunity to make that decision, and I'm learning that later on, like, wait, you were doing what with who?
yeah,
That's you're liable to kind of feel some heat. And I don't I I've been watching the internet in terms of people not agreeing with people's sexual lives or whatever they choose to do. And it's not a homophobic thing. It's not a going against how you identify yourself or what you choose. That's not that, whatever your heart desires, that's on you. I wish people would stop saying that just because people don't agree with certain
yeah.
things,
Mhm.
right? Like if I'm a heterosexual female, this is the way that I see life. If you identify
Hmm.
this way and do things that way, that's on you. That doesn't necessarily mean that I'm homophobic. Like
Right.
Mhm.
I just don't agree with it. So
Yeah.
definitely should tell me off rip so I can make that decision if I want to pursue this relationship or not.
Yeah.
Mm,
That's
mm, mm,
good.
mm.
Yeah.
Wait, true story.
Oh.
True story, y'all. Before I got married, oh my god, this just hit me like a bomb. Before I got married, I was talking to this dude. Um, we weren't even talking long. It was probably like 2-3 weeks, but it was very consistent, like heavy on the line every single day. What the only thing that we did not do was go on a physical date because he lived in a different state. We hadn't made it to that point yet.
Okay.
So
Hmm.
very much FaceTime calls, like texting, whatever. Cool. I guess he got comfortable around week 3. He was a pastor, a youth pastor. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, a good little Christian man, whatever. I might need to change my life a little bit more, but that's okay. And
Yep.
he was like, I need to share this with you because I feel like we're getting to a place where we will exclusively date soon. This man says that he was in a 10-year relationship with a male and has been and was delivered from it for 2 years. This was his like second year being delivered. I shouldn't even do this because
Mm.
people can be delivered from whatever. He was delivered from that part of his life, and now he's strictly likes females. Was I okay with it? I want y'all to know that I ended that call so fast and blocked that man so fast. I said thank you for sharing. This is not my cup of tea.
Thank
10
you for
years is a
sharing.
yeah, 10 years, 10 years. That is a very long time to be poked in the booty hole. And then all of a sudden you
1
just
hour is too much. It's
yeah,
all
that it wasn't for me. It
yeah,
wasn't for me. And
no.
he's happily married now to a woman. So shout out to her,
That's
but it
good.
wasn't for me.
Shout out to you with your open mind.
Yes.
And we love that, and we
Right.
love that there's someone for everyone. But
Hmm. Wasn't
I
for me.
simply,
And
Wasn't
that's
for
the way
me.
that I feel about it. Like
Hmm.
I think you even saying like there is someone out there for everyone.
I
And
guess.
I'm just not that one, right? And I really think that
Mm-mm.
that's okay. And even like I saw on TikTok too, similar topic, but there was somebody that responded that is a part of like the LGBTQ plus. Hmm. I'm missing some letters, but I
Right.
got it. Y'all know.
Like a
Um,
cute eye. Mm-hmm.
but yeah. Um, but what they were saying is like, even like in that person might identify, right, if they are bisexual, because there are some people, let's be clear, that won't identify as bisexual and will then say it was just an experimentation part of their life, right? Because
Yeah,
I do
Hmm.
feel like women sometimes are given a pass for having that experimentation phase. Men are
that's
not
fair.
granted that same
There's
thing,
definitely a
right?
double standard there.
Oh,
Hmm.
for sure.
Definitely.
And so what Shorty was saying, I think it was on TikTok. She's like, look, if you're a part of the LGBTQ plus community, you know, um, then you can't be mad that somebody outside of that community does not want to be a part of that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, no, like you are under the umbrella. And so we got a whole what she was saying. She was like, we got a whole crew here. Like you
Yeah.
don't be mad and say that it's homophobic because now you're asking someone that is not under the umbrella to now then be a part, right, of the umbrella.
Right.
If that's not their vibe and what they're about. But I do think that when it comes down to because the question's like it's like, should they tell you, right? I think they should tell you, and this might, I don't know, but I don't know if that's something that's like, do we say that on the first date? Do we wait? Because in my mind, we don't, people don't always talk about like, oh yeah, I've had sex with like 30 people on the first date.
I feel like for the most part, people are on dates that are like with someone that identifies as the sex they're presenting as. So you already
Right.
can assume that like they've had sex with the opposite sex. But I
Right.
feel like for people that differ in any type of way, that
Hmm.
that rule just applies to them. Like for all of us, the average person, like when we're going out to eat with a guy, there's not a conversation of like, there's already an assumption and an understanding there. And I think that's what it is
Hmm.
most times in like interactions, and why
Hmm.
sometimes like guys in instances when they meet a girl or meet a girl who's transgender, meaning like they're really a guy, but they weren't able to tell. That's why it's so upsetting because like regardless of what the LGBTQIA plus community believes, and we respect all their beliefs, there is an assumption that like if you're a woman, you probably like men, and if you're a man, you probably like women.
Hmm.
Hmm.
So if anything deviates from that, I feel like it should be common sense and not seem like this whole thing for you to just speak up for that. Cause I feel like that's what happens most times. And like even with like the most simple things, like you can go to a fast food restaurant and if you order a number 4 and you want something that deviates from that, you have to speak up and say it. You can't get a number 4 and then say it's like a bacon cheeseburger and then they give it to you and it's like, well, I didn't want bacon. It's like, well, you have to say that.
You know? Right. That's true.
Right. That's fact.
That's a good point.
That was a really good point. Okay. Well, shout out to all of the genders, identities, all of that stuff. We love everybody. Everybody is equal in our eyes. Just want to make that very clear. However, everybody's entitled to their preferences. I think that sums up our answers here. We can pick and choose who we want to be with, how we want to be
and
with
it's
them.
not homophobic, guys. It's not. I promise you guys. It's not.
It's not.
It's really not.
Okay. Shifting. You have a man, Brittany, that is checks off all the boxes, right? He got money, he cooks, he cleans, he's been whining and dining you. Y'all been dating for let's say 2-3 months. You have not been intimate yet. And now it's go time, right? Boom, he lays it down. He lays it down. Everything's good. So you in a good space.
Yeah.
He stays over and pees in the bed.
Oh my God, Brittany. Why? Do we have a kidney problem? Oh my God.
What's your next move? What are you doing? Not a kidney problem.
Because I'm gonna try to get to the bottom of it. Like in real life, I would literally be going in the bathroom, sending my best friend Princess the craziest voice message about how to play with a pretty little boy. And I don't know past the voice message. I just don't know. I don't know. Princess will probably tell me what to do and I do it. In real life, that's literally what would happen. But I guess if I had to think on my own, I had to think on my own. I don't know, Brittany. Oh my God, why did you piss the bed? I really would need to know if there was a kidney problem because we can work through that. I'm not gonna leave you because you're sick. Oh my God. I was not expecting you to say that. Everything was going so good. Yep. Oh my God. I'm just sitting here thinking about it. It's making me want to gag. But anyway.
That's absolutely disgusting, first of all. Secondly, unless you do have a medical condition, we're grown. So what would make you what would make you do that?
And in my mattress, I guess there's two conversations. If you don't have the kidney problem, what would have caused this? And then the cleaning of my mattress or the repurchasing of it.
Ooh.
Lord, it'd be Lord. What would y'all do? That's insane. What would y'all do? That's insane.
I'm mad. I don't even know because I'm mad. I'm just mad because either way, you should have told me. If you have a medical condition that you pee in the bed at your own house. You know what I'm saying? Like you could have told me. Like you could have said something, but you did it. And you pissed yourself in my bed.
Pee in the bed at your own house.
Like that's why you was cooking so good. You know what I'm saying? It's like now I'm like, that's why you was overcompensating.
Right, because you pissing up the
bed.
You're a pissy little boy. Oh my God.
At your grown age. So either way, I'm upset. I really am.
Yeah. Mattresses are so expensive.
That's what I'm saying. And when you find a good one,
I have to ask how often. I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter. I was gonna say I have to ask how often are you doing this?
What? Do you have a piss in the bed limit? Like if you do it more than 2 times in a month, that's it. Driving.
Because really and truly, I would have to. I'm with you, Bray, in terms of like medically what's going on. Because I would really want to genuinely help you at this.
Because
we're in our 30s. Like you're too old to be doing
Like,
this.
is
So
it
there's a
right?
problem. There's a
Yeah,
problem.
ideally you're too young for prostate cancer, but things are happening, food is changing. So I don't know if you drunk a lot of sweet tea, there could be kidney stones. I would down honestly, after I got off the voice message with Princess, I would truly go down this whole rabbit hole of herbal medicines, because that's also me. I'm that friend. Like once my friends tell me there's something wrong, I'm like, have you tried turkey tail mushroom? Because you know that's known to do. Da, 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 da. And at this point, I was like, my God, I think you need some chlorophyll to clean out. You need a soft detox, a 3-day juice detox. Probably need to get some papaya seeds. Like I would go down this whole rabbit hole after I got off the voice message of just like herbal things. I would just be like, oh my God. And if it wasn't something medical, I just would have my friends weak as hell every time I tell that story about how I slept with that pissy boy.
There's there. So let
Oh,
me ask you
God.
this: is there coming back for him? Because this is just let's say that let's say this. Let's say he did not have a medical condition, right? He was just simply like nervous to stay the night or something. It will never happen again. You can guarantee that it will never happen again. This is a one-time thing. Are you staying or are you leaving?
I'm gonna stay, but I'm gonna make money about it all the time whenever I want to. And I'm gonna call you. I'm gonna call you LP, and you gonna know that stand for little pissy. You are not gonna live that down. You are not gonna live that down.
Yep. Asia,
Yeah,
what about you?
if it was a one-time occurrence, I would show grace. And I'm only saying that, and I mean only saying that because I thought about like as a woman, right? You know, like when it's that time of the month, like
I
I
was
really
just thinking
did
about that.
think about like how would I feel if like, you know, I thought I was good, but then I'd have messed up your sheets, you know,
It's
like
fair.
I would want that same grace, right?
Yeah,
Um, so that's the reason why. But I would still look at you sideways because you are
you're
grown.
insane.
You're
And from that
grown.
moment on, I would still be like, no, you need to only drink water. Like I do think that this was a precursor for kidney related issues. And even if we stayed together, I would get a full workup before we had kids, because I need to know if kidney issues run in your family at this
Yeah.
point.
No, man,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I just that would take me I would kick him out. Honestly, yeah, he would have to get up and go. It would take me some time to digest that because periods are very natural, right? It's something that
Yes.
we cannot control. Your bladder, maybe you can't control it, but that is a very not natural, normal thing to do if there's no medical condition attached to it. So I would that's disgusting. Like it's really and truly. I'm just thinking about my sheets being soiled
You
with
know, it's
urine.
bad.
That's
It's
disgusting.
Oh,
past the
okay.
sheets. It's the mattress too. That's why I'm
Oh,
like, it's
it's not.
bad.
It's nasty.
But wait, but have y'all ever had? And I'm only saying this because it did happen to me, and I feel like I was a little. I was in college. I was in undergrad.
Somebody peed
No,
in your bed.
no, I
A
wasn't with
golden
no pissy
shower?
boy. I wasn't
Uh,
out with no pissy boy or golden shower. Never in my
oh.
life.
Oh.
Never.
I was like, what?
But and this is me just telling to myself. I had a dream one time. Like y'all ever had a dream that was so real?
Mm-hmm.
Like, all right, so one time, this is a story time, and this is another reason why I would show grace because I was in college. I think I was a freshman or sophomore. Um, I was on a cruise, right? I'm on a cruise. I was having to sleeping. You know what I'm saying? Good sleep. The dream was so real, but in the dream, I was using the bathroom, like in the dream, and I it was so vivid. Y'all, do y'all know I was asleep? I
It's okay.
never, I woke up. I know I'm telling myself right now, but I'm only saying that to say our brains are crazy. I actually found out that a lot of people, y'all can Google it, a lot of people actually compose themselves when they're on cruises. It's something about
I was just about to say that.
the
When you said
water or
you're
something
on
like
a
that.
cruise, I'm like, well, you're literally that's to me being on a cruise and having a incident like that is like the same thing as you was sleeping and somebody put your finger in some water. It's like your brain starts, like you said, your brain starts doing this thing. Like I don't know.
Hmm.
So that I would
That's what I
understand. And
heard.
I have a cousin. She's grown. Love you, just because you see that. But like she, by the time she tells you she has to use the bathroom, it's almost like a child. Like you have like a 5-second window, and it doesn't matter where she's at. Like she will just start tinkling, and I'm like, we're literally like we're in Target or we're wherever. So people have bladder issues. Bringing us back to home, I think it may be a bladder issue or a kidney issue.
Yeah.
It has to be.
Yeah,
Has to be.
it has to be. It has to be that because, I mean, then too, there's comfort levels too, right? Like it's different when it's family. It's different if you guys were dating for 10 years and this happened for the
Yeah.
first time. You not gonna leave nobody
Yeah,
out there.
that's true.
But for our first time being intimate together, this is the impression you want to leave with me. I will literally bring diapers on every single day after that. Like, here you go,
Adult diapers is
adult
crazy.
diapers. Because
Depends is wild.
Yeah, I'm just saying
That's
adult diapers is crazy.
yeah, it's a no-go for me.
Jeez, dang. All right. Well, last question, y'all. So,
Okay.
have you ever circled back, circled the block to avoid adding to your body count?
Oh wait, have I circled the block for who?
Like to avoid like you circle back, right, to somebody that you've already been intimate with, just to avoid adding to your body count.
Oh yes. Oh God, yes. That's literally the goal. I will literally. I feel like I'm not about to. I'll be driving home from like the bar or whatever. I'm like, I'm about to get to another body. Mm-mm-mm. That is literally the like. I'm not. Mm-mm. And I also feel like it's so crazy now. Like just have for that reason, it's just so crazy now thinking about having sex with someone else. Like the one catching another body, the risk that comes with it, like physically to my body, STDs, STIs, great, safe sex, pregnancy, but also like what if that? What's really gets me is the catching another body and it's not good. That shit sends me up
Yeah.
the wall. I'm like,
Yeah.
because my
Yeah.
sex is always good. So now you're on my line all the time. And you know how boys like they never get that understanding. Like they think if they enjoyed it, you also enjoyed it. And it's like, so now they're like, why are you playing? You gotta link up again. I'm literally not playing. That was a very unenjoyable time. And I do not want to speak with you anymore. Like, I feel ashamed and I no longer want to speak with you. So, but so yeah, so as far as spinning the block, I'm definitely going to spin the block back to my old trusty, almost like a golden retriever. If he sees this, I'm not saying it like that, but I'm just saying almost like a golden retriever. They just loyal, faithful. They don't say anything, and also they know my body. They know what I like. This is the other thing. Also, it's like with the first timers, it's like that first timey sex where it's very timid and you don't know that baby. So you don't know what to do.
Yeah, yeah. I can feel that. Do you dang, what was I gonna ask? It was something you said about I'm having a brain fart. It'll come back to me. But I
Yeah.
but I will say it's easier to circle the block. And I do think that all women, whether they admit it or not, they have somebody in the West Wing over here that knows them perfectly well, whether you're dating or not, that
Yeah.
you can always call and go back to and know that it's an enjoyable time, but you guys have some sort of understanding that this is all that it is, right? Like we're not
Yes.
taking this anywhere else. So I'm with you. I feel like I mean, body count is one of those things. It's silly anyway. People gonna do what they want to do regardless. How you get it is on your own. Everybody's has had a whole phase and they all define it differently. I don't care about body count.
Yeah.
But I will say that it is easier to circle the block again because you've already been with that person, like you were saying, Britt. You've already been with that person that first time, heebie jeebies, like, oh my gosh. And then, not wanting that's what I was going to ask you. Not wanting that, if it's not good, not wanting that person to stay. So, have you ever had a bad time, right? Where you didn't circle the block, you tried somebody new, and they stayed, but you wanted them to leave afterwards?
Oh no.
You tell them they gotta go?
Mm-hmm. I'm very like cutthroat. Like honestly, Brittany, I've been in a situation where I was actively having sex and it was so bad that I was like, I'm good. Like we did not finish. Like I stopped him from inserting into my body. Like I was like, I can't in my mind, I was like, I can't take on this body. I cannot take this on. I can't. So if you see this, not shout out to you.
No. No, but I love that you do. First of all, shout out to you for doing that because a lot of women cannot do that.
Right.
And we literally push ourselves through it like rolling our eyes until it's over with. And of course, we don't call them back or whatever the case may be. But I don't think I've ever been in a space where
he was just like, what?
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm good. That's all I said was, I'm good. And he was like,
and
what?
did he get mad? Like, how did he react?
No, it was just quiet. Cause I said it one time, he was like, what? And I said, I'm good. And he was just like, everything okay? And I was like, yeah, I'm just good. Like I just was so in my head about how bad it was. I didn't have time to like explain to him why it was bad. And I think it was just he wasn't like, I don't like when guys have sex for them. I feel like that's such a like weird, selfish way to go into having sex. Like sex is obviously you want to get pleasure, but you're not there for you. I mean, you are, but you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like you're going into it to please the other person. So I just felt like it was just too, he was just too, I don't know, like almost like he would have had sex with anybody. He just wanted a warm body. I don't like that. You know what I mean? Like, it just was, you know, like it was just an icky feeling. Like to the point where I don't even know if the actual sex was bad. It just was like an icky feeling. Like he was just way too in his own head. So yeah, that was like an awkward situation. But I feel like also like when guys spin the block, like sometimes I will just completely ignore them and they get the message. But if they don't, I will just tell them that I didn't enjoy it because they'll allude to it at some point, but you in some kind of way, like let me pull up or just something weird. And I would just simply tell them in so many words, like I did not enjoy the experience. Like usually that was not good for me.
So there's no such thing as redemption round for you.
No, it's like having undercooked meat that makes you sick. It's like you're not going to try that again from that restaurant. Like you are not going to. Yep. But like if I like the guy, now it's different. Like you know how like if you talking to somebody and then you guys have sex for the first time and then it's not really all that good. Like if I like you, I do understand that like you have to take time to learn my body and same with me or same with me with him. So I'm all down for teaching a man that I like how to please me. But just for like these people that well not to circle the blockers, but like the people I'm taking a chance on, like if it was just bad the first time, baby, it's just bad. It's just bad.
Okay.
Just leave it where it is.
What about you, Asia? What you doing?
Yeah, I mean I feel like we've all been there. I don't think that I've ever like done it though to not to to specifically avoid adding a body count. I just think that it's more like you just know that there are certain people that it's like they just know my body. If I hit them up, they're gonna be available. It's one of those like, yeah, I think it feels more like it's just a sure thing, right? If this is something that I want to do, I know the people that will be able to, to service the things that need to be serviced in the ways that it needs to be serviced. Because the truth is, and let's be clear, like if we have a body that we don't rock with, that body is canceled.
Literally.
It's canceled. So
literally.
Either way, so that's why I'm like, I don't think for me at least it wouldn't be necessarily to avoid adding to the body count. It would just be more just like, no, I'm a circle the block just because it was good.
Yeah, no, for sure. I'm definitely circling because it was great. It was amazing.
Enjoyable experience.
One last question to piggyback off of this conversation. What happens when you have that person is there and then you get into a relationship with a dude, like y'all are exclusively the boyfriend and girlfriend, like y'all slap titles on each other, whatever. Things are very serious. Sex game is good, but it's not like such and such in the corner. You got that one that is like, oh, it's over there. Or in that opportunity presents itself. Are you doubling back or are you gonna stay faithful in this current situation that you're in right now?
As I'm looking for, because my husband's looking for me, I'm gonna stay faithful. But I definitely have been a cheater. But it's always so sad whenever like you're in a situation like that where like you guys are just vibing, not really expecting more than like the physical part of it, and then one of you all, whether it be the guy or the girl, gets in an actual relationship, and it's kind of funny, I guess a little weird, but I know for like my situation, we typically respect the relationship. So we just bid our goodbyes until the and sometimes I think for like both of us, like for me, it was like 10 years. I got a relationship and I was off and on with the father of my kid for like 10 years. Anytime we were off, I was on with him. But it's still a long time to be rocky. But I feel like that's always so sad. I got a fake breakup.
The fake breakup.
No.
So sad.
That's really
Asia,
what it
what you
feels
doing?
like. You
Hmm?
gotta stay faithful because
Yeah.
and at least for me, like even when I know that I'm gonna get into a serious relationship, I have the conversation with the
Yeah.
people that I've been like rocking with for real um because if the conversation's not had, they're gonna keep popping up.
Yeah.
Because for them it's like, yeah, it's like business as usual. I pop up when I want to, we vibe, all the things. So being able to have that like, nah, like this is for real, this is what happens. And sometimes those conversations, they don't always go like, oh yeah, sure, okay, great. It's usually like, for
Yeah.
real? Like, you
Mm-hmm.
sure? Well,
Mm-hmm.
if he messed up, just call me. If anything go wrong, I'm still gonna be here.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, so I do think that most times it is like the respect, like they do respect, right? Um, but still having to have that conversation, I think is yeah, for me, gotta have that conversation so
Yeah,
they
no, for
know.
sure. What about if you have the conversation with them and then like they don't leave you alone? Are you the type of person,
I
if you're
have
in a
blocked.
relationship, to like
I have
block
blocked.
them or
I have. I'm laughing because I know this person is gonna listen. I have blocked. I have blocked. Yeah, there's this one time. I'm gonna say it. He was there, so he knows what happened. So there was this one time, and I was off and on with this person for a very long time, and I got into a relationship, told him about it, and then he would hit me up, right? He's very
right?
persistent. And then at the time that I actually blocked him, he had said something like, "Well, you're not married yet, so until you're married, I'm not gonna stop."
Oh Lord.
And I blocked him. I blocked him for
Yeah.
about a year.
Mm-hmm.
So had and
Respect.
yeah.
And so it's for me it's about like respecting boundaries. Like if I
Hmm.
told you this, we established what it is, okay, cool, but now I'm in something, right? And
Yeah.
I told you that, and I don't care if you think, well, you're not married. What? Well, I'm trying to get there.
Yeah.
And
Hmm.
I need you to respect this boundary right now. Like
Right.
you're right. If it don't work with our homeboy, or if we having a rough patch, and I decide to pick up the phone and call you, then I'm gonna call you. But we've already established that that's what it is. So there is no blurred lines. There is no confusion here. So if you feel like
Hmm.
you can step a boundary and still hit my phone after I told you to stop, yeah, you deserve to be blocked at this point because now you're
No, for sure.
interfering with my life in a way that I didn't ask you to do that. So you deserve to be over here. So I hope he learned from that, whomever you are listening.
Yeah. And
Also,
it's so interesting too because for me, it was one of those like I just didn't know how else to stop the communication because one of my fears was the person I was with at the time. I was like, oh yeah, like we're gonna get married, and it was so serious for me, and I was like. God forbid, I am with this person and this person starts blowing up my phone, like calling me or texting me. And at the time, I was like, oh, yeah, take my phone, like whatever. And I'm like, if a text message pops up, forget it. And it's like, this dude that you was
Yeah.
telling me about from, from back in the day. And so why he's still hitting you up? I didn't want to have to go through any of that.
Yeah, that's fair.
So yeah, the boy.
I think sometimes, like, depending on the relationship, like this one, like when I was in college, I had like this off and on like situationship, but it was like more than situationship because we were like friends too. And I think like, and so we would have those conversations whenever one of us got into like a relationship or something like that. And I think that was because we had like a friendship there. And so I felt like we felt entitled, but in like a good way, entitled because there was a layer there outside of, because we were like physical and we understood that we probably weren't going to be boyfriend, girlfriend, but also sometimes we would just like hang out and like do stuff and we didn't have to have sex, you know? But it was just one of those relationships where it could always be on the table. So I feel like in situations like that, I've had the conversation, but sometimes like whenever I have had those type of like just physical situations and then I get into a relationship, if I don't feel like they was worth it, I just block them. And then they realize that we're not talking no more whenever they reach out. And they don't know why, or maybe they do. It doesn't matter.
Whatever.
If they were your friend, if let's say said person, he was your friend and y'all were doing all this stuff and then you get into a relationship, are you introducing your guy to him as your friend? Or is he just
yes. I'm trying to think, did I in that situation? No, actually I didn't. I don't think that I did. But my boyfriend at the time ended up like peeping out and sussing out the relation, like the situationship between me and the other guy. That was super unfortunate. And I felt like when he called me out on it, I felt like inside I'm like, oh my God, do not try to break him up. Like this is like that is serious. So I felt very just like, oh. But yeah, no, I don't think that I would introduce. No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Yeah, that's like in the rule book. If you're, I see it like this: if you're gonna keep that person in your life and around, um, if you introduce them as a friend, it just needs to be that. Do not share that you had sexual experiences with this person or whatever.
Yeah.
Because once you do
That's
that,
what I would do if I did it. I would just introduce him as a friend and keep it at just that. And then I would keep the relationship between me and him, like as a friend from then moving forward to keep it just, yeah. But if like, you know, sometimes when you're dating somebody and you guys are like, you just get into like past who you've had relations and whatnot with, if that's somebody that not disclosed, then, you know, probably won't be introducing him as a friend.
Yes.
All right.
Well, this has been another episode of Small Talk. You already know. Two queens, two perspectives, one topic. But tonight we had Brittany come and welcome and just be here with us and have a good old time and have some good girl talk.
Yes.
Say goodbye to the people, Brittany.
I had a good time kikiing with you guys. Like, I loved all of these topics. I love the vibe. And like I said earlier, thank you guys for this space and just creating this space for us to just decompress and kiki and do that with like without judgment. There's not a lot of places that like our community can do that. So thank you for creating this space. And I'm looking forward to watching this continue to grow. I love this project.
Of course. Thank you. We can't say thank you enough. We enjoyed having you here on tonight. Like Asia has said, we also want to make sure you guys go check out her Instagram, her podcast, all her projects, initiatives, all that stuff. We will drop all that information when this episode drops as well. And again, this has been another episode of Small Talk. Almost said something else, y'all. My mind is somewhere else after this conversation we've had tonight. We'll catch y'all on the next episode. Bye.
Bye.